Good afternoon. Today we are going to take a look at how to do these sentence completion problems. I just had a funny interaction with someone doing these, and I'm going to try to show you how to do these based on that interaction. Because in my experience, these are actually, for me, these are fairly easy. And I think they're easy for me because I very seldom ever look at the answers first. And I think most people end up looking at these answers first. And that really messes people up. These are designed to mess you up by having you look at those answers first. Because if you look at the answers, you don't really understand what the sentence is telling you. And that's really the big clue to doing these, is to understand first what the sentence is telling you, what goes into that blank, before you start looking at those answer choices, before you allow your mind to move in any of these directions. So let's do that. We're going to pay attention as we focus on the sentence, what that blank means, on two basic things. One is the definition or the clue that's embedded inside the sentence. This is true for every one of these sentence completions, is that they're designed so that the definition of the blank is there inside the sentence. We're going to be looking for that specifically, and we're also going to be looking for the linking phrase or the pivot. When we find the definition, we're going to circle it, and we find this linking phrase or pivot. What that is that shows the relationship between that definition and the blank. When we find that, we're going to circle that. So let's take a look at this easier one, which is from page 390 in your College Board official SAT study guide. This is number 1, so you know it's one of the easier ones. Alexander Solzhenitsyn's blank proved keenest when he accurately predicted that his books would someday appear in his native Russia. Now I read that and I immediately see that this blank proved keenest when he accurately predicted. Now there are all kinds of words or phrases that they use for linking phrases or pivots, what I call pivots. Things like words like although or on the contrary or despite or semicolons or commas, punctuation. There's no need for you to remember any of those. We're going to do them in other videos. The thing is to keep your eye open for the definition that's embedded inside the sentence, and again for that pivot or that linking phrase that shows the relationship between that definition and that blank. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a word into that blank based on that definition. Alexander Solzhenitsyn's blank proved keenest when he accurately predicted his accurate predictive ability proved keenest. Now I'm just going to abbreviate that. There's no need for me to write that out all the way longhand. I just need to articulate it in a way so that I understand what goes inside that blank or the blanks. Now when I bring back the answer choices, we cannot be distracted by answer choices that might appear to be correct, that might have the right flavor to them, or if it's Alexander Solzhenitsyn's, then immediately my mind might go to writing or art. I might immediately think artistry. But what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a word that means exactly accurate predictive ability. So let's look at the answer choices. Let's do them from the back. Does artistry mean accurate predictive ability? No, it's a stretch. If I look up artistry in the dictionary, and that's what these are based on, if I look up artistry in the dictionary, I don't see accurate predictive ability after it. If I look up despair, I don't see that. If I look up folly, I don't see accurate predictive ability. And same with nostalgia. The only word that means exactly this, accurate predictive ability, is foresight. And the very last thing I do is I read it back in to make sure that that correct word has to sound right in context. Alexander Solzhenitsyn's foresight proved keenest when he accurately predicted. Now, even though some of these other answer choices might appear again to be right out of context, there's only one word that fits the contextual definition of the sentence, the definitions that is embedded inside the context of the sentence. And that's what you're looking for in these. So in our next video, we're going to take a look at how to do the double blank sentences. In further videos, we're going to take a look at how to do some of these more difficult ones and how to handle some of this vocabulary. So try as many of these as possible. And if I were you, I would practice by circling, by underlining, and by writing in my own word. Remember, the more that you put down on the page, the less you have to keep in your mind, and the more you can truly understand what's right there in front of you. So good luck.